Hello, friends, and welcome. Today, on this Maundy Thursday, we remember an act that redefined greatness when Jesus, the King of Kings, knelt to wash the feet of his disciples. In that simple act of service, he showed us a way of love that changes everything. This video tells the story of those who followed that path, Christian missionaries in India who chose compassion over comfort and service over power. Let's begin. On the night before his crucifixion, Jesus performed an act of humility no king had ever done. He washed the feet of his disciples. Imagine it, the King of Kings kneeling before his followers, touching the dirt and grime no one else dared to touch. The message? True leadership lies not in ruling over others, but in serving them, lifting them up and washing away their pain. This wasn't just a ritual, it was a revolution of love. And across history, some chose to follow this path. Christian missionaries in India were among those who lived this radical love. They didn't just preach it, they embodied it, often at great personal cost. When Christian missionaries arrived in India, they encountered an entrenched system of caste and exclusion. Dalits, the so-called untouchables, were barred from temples, schools, wells, and even roads. Many were forced into degrading tasks like manual scavenging and disposing of animal carcasses. Another practice they witnessed was sati, where widows, through pressure or expectation, were burned alive on their husbands' funeral pyres. Though not widespread everywhere, its horror echoed through generations. Missionaries didn't come to condemn India. They came to serve those forgotten by society. They saw suffering and they responded, not with judgment, but with love. These missionaries weren't nobles or rulers. Many were young, in their twenties, driven by a calling to love and serve. They left behind families, security, and the familiar, entering unfamiliar and often hostile lands, not to convert by force, but to heal, to teach, to uplift. Take William Carey, who arrived in 1793. He learned Bengali, Sanskrit, and other Indian languages. He translated the Bible, but also helped found Serampore College, pushed for women's education, and fought against sati. Others, like Amy Carmichael, rescued girls from temple exploitation, raising them as daughters in homes filled with grace and learning. They gave not because they had much, but because they believed every soul mattered to God. Where others saw barriers, missionaries saw bridges. They built schools for Dalits, tribals, and women, offering education where it had never reached. In states like Tamil Nadu, Assam, Punjab, Mizoram, and Meghalaya, schools planted by missionaries transformed entire communities. They established hospitals in regions ignored by most, bringing medicine, care, and comfort to the sick and dying. The Salvation Army, the Baal Mission, Methodist missions, they didn't just preach, they served. Mother Teresa, though a later figure, carried the same spirit. Her missionaries of charity gave dignity to the dying and hope to the forgotten. The impact of missionaries went far beyond charity. They helped nurture reformers who would reshape India. Take Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, born a Dalit, who was educated in Christian schools. He was supported by reformers and princely scholarships. He went on to study in the US and London and became the architect of India's constitution. Take Raja Ram Mohan Roy, a Hindu reformer, collaborated with missionaries like William Carey. Though not Christian, he valued the moral clarity they offered and joined the fight to abolish sati and promote women's rights. Missionary education empowered Indians to lead their own transformations, guided by reason, compassion, and equality. Missionaries were not always welcomed. William Carey's work was banned by the British East India Company. Religious authorities feared the change they brought. Today, the challenges continue. Churches have been attacked in Manipur, Chhattisgarh, and Uttarakhand. Worshippers face violence and false accusations. In 2022 alone, over 600 incidents targeting Christians were reported in India. And yet, In the face of fear, the mission continues, not with retaliation, but with prayer, service, and hope. The question isn't about who preached, but who served. For centuries, many in power remained silent as Dalits suffered, widows burned, and the poor were cast aside. Missionaries didn't seek credit. They simply walked into places others wouldn't, with books, with medicine, with kindness. This is not about conversions, it's about compassion and love that shows up, especially when no one else will. The light they lit still shines. Missionary founded schools and hospitals still serve the poor. Christian teachers, doctors, and volunteers continue to go where others will not. They live out the legacy of Maundy Thursday, the legacy of a king who knelt to wash feet. This is the story of those who came not to rule but to serve and to love without conditions. In a world divided, their story matters more than ever because love like this is never outdated. Because love, like light, must never be hidden. Though their names are often erased, their legacy lives on in classrooms, in clinics, and in the quiet hearts of those they served. If this story moved you, share it. Let the light be known because love, like light, must never be hidden.